Lowe's knows you want to get even more value for the holiday. That's why as a My Lowe's Rewards member, you get new member deals on holiday decor, tools, and more. And you earn points when you shop. More points equal more rewards to help you save on holiday and more. Not a member? Join for free today at Lowe's.com/MyLowe'sRewards because Lowe's knows deals. Program subject to terms and conditions. Points are awarded on eligible purchases. See Lowe's.com/terms for full details. Subject to change.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have a right to an attorney prior to and during any question. If you can't afford one, the court will appoint one for you. Do you understand your rights?
When the wolf is at your door, your running's over, that's for sure. He already knows all about you. Cut you down, don't murder by you. Now you better walk the line. Real life, real crime.
Warning. This episode of Real Life, Real Crime, the podcast, may contain descriptions of acts of violence or that of a sexual nature and should be for people that are 18 years or older. Heed my warning, people. I do not get the facts of these cases off of the internet or from some television show. The facts I'm retelling you were presented to me by the victims of the crimes or the perpetrators who committed the crimes against the victims. My descriptions of the crime scenes, what I saw with my own two eyes. If you're going to get offended, please turn this podcast off now. Thank you. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this episode of Real Life, Real Crime, the podcast. As always, I'm your host, Woody Overton. Ooh, welcome back. This episode, I'd gone and dropping them on Saturdays because all the daily shows and Bloody Angola and all that. This one's coming to you at my old drop date, which were Tuesdays. But going back to Saturdays, we get all this bullshit worked out of the way, and hopefully it'll be concluded this week. And you not only are going to get your original Real Life, Real Crimes, you're going to get the Real Life, Real Crime Daily Show totally changed up, and you're going to get another show on top of that. And we'll talk about that once I'm able to talk about it legally, okay? So I love and appreciate each and every one of y'all. Shit, y'all know that. I've been doing this like going on 6 years because of lifers. I know y'all want Woody Overton go back to telling Woody Overton stories, and I'm going to do that, but I'm going to take it up a notch. And I think it's kind of like, I don't want to get the cat out of the bag, be like the origin of swim, someone who isn't me, and this is some fucking crazy stories that, but I'll be able to tie it into true crime stories too. So we're going to give like a 5-show shot to that coming up, probably starting the 1st of June. And yeah, they're going to make you laugh, and some probably make you cry, but they're a swim, someone who isn't me. And another new show 2 days a week that I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag. We'll do it when we do the announcements. But thank y'all so much for liking and listening, sharing and tuning in. Don't forget about Bloody Angola. Podcast by Jim Chapman and I drops on Thursdays, the award-winning Bloody Angola. We won Best History Podcast in the world this year. But let's get back to Real Life, Real Crime. Oh, y'all had a fantastic time Saturday night at O'Hara's on 136 3rd Street, downtown Baton Rouge. Over 30 5 different taps, beer on taps. Welcome home, people. You go there, you'll get the vibe. You'll know it. Let them know you're lifers. Let them know we sent you. Ask for Brian Knight. I'll be down there maybe tomorrow night too. I think I'm gonna go start going like 2 nights a week. But go check it out. Fucking down home, big patio courtyard and 3 bars and et cetera, and it's just an awesome place. All right, let's go back to Louisiana. What am I going to name this one? How about Louisiana's rogue sheriff? Okay, and let's go to Thibodeaux, Louisiana in the year of 1989. Now, Thibodeaux, way down south. I think it's Nicholls State University is there. So it's a small college. Thibodeaux's a pretty big city by Louisiana standards, and I think that's mostly because the college is there. But it's down there, and it's in Cajun country. You talk about, if you go and interview somebody down there, they have to have the translation on the bottom so regular people could understand it. I understand it because I've been dealing with Cajuns my entire life. But it's a especially back in 1989, it was a lot smaller than it is now. It is a down home, super, super great place, super, super great people. And most of them have been living there for generations. And when the Canadians kicked the Cajuns out of wherever the fuck that was up north, way back when, 1700s or whatever, like the story of Evangeline, where the 2 lovers, Evangeline had her lover, and they kicked them all out, and then ships got separated at sea, etc. Well, they sailed south, right? And they ended up in the bayous of South Louisiana, and they settled. And that's how the Cajun culture became born. It's Cajun French, and they lived on the bayous. They lived off of the bayous. They ate crabs, and they fished, and they used what they had to because they didn't have dick else. I mean, oysters. How hungry did the first person have to be to crack open an oyster shell? And they're hard as fuck to crack. I do them all the time, or shuck it is what it's called. But you still got to crack it to get to the meat. How hungry? That's basically a fucking rock. You were starving, right? And crabs, the blue crabs. How hungry you got to be to eat that motherfucker? Of course, it's now known as delicacies and some of the best food in the world. But that's where the Cajun culture got started when they landed there way, way back when. They settled along the bayous. They used the waterways for commerce. They used it to feed their families, and that's where you get gumbos from and stuff like that. They take everything that they have, usually a seafood gumbo. If they had some chicken or whatever, they might do a chicken gumbo. But you use everything that's left over, and you cook a big pot of something, right? So they didn't have dick starting out. Now, it's still predominantly seafood industry related down there, that and oil field, and that's a fact. And of course, people like me that go down and go fishing. But Thibodeaux is a great place, just about as Cajun as you can get. And in 1989, when I was 19 years old, let me tell you what happened, all right? So, I don't know if y'all are like this. If I'm walking through a parking lot and there's a bag of something, it could be a brown paper bag looking like it's holding a beer can or something, guess what? I'm not kicking that motherfucker, all right? And now, when you're a kid and you kick the can down the gravel road, that might be different. That was entertainment. I'm a lot wiser now because of this story. And hopefully you'll take something from it. All right. So I knew of this story in my entire life, right? I was 19 when it happened, but Leah Marie sent this in, and she had some personal knowledge on it also. But again, to this day, Leah told me, she said, to this day, this is why I don't kick things in parking lots. And if there are questionable items in a parking lot, I walk far away from them. And so Leah asked her nanny if she remembered this story, y'all. And her nanny did. Now, they were from down there. So Leah said she was around 8 or 9 years old at her nanny's house in Thibodeaux when this happened, and she remembers it well. So there was a sheriff named Breaux, and he was the target of an assassination plot that was planned by former Lafourche Parish President Cyrus, quotations, Bobby Tardo, whom Breaux defeated to become sheriff, but when he ran, there was like 4 people in the race, and he beat them all, okay? But Bobby Tardo, he didn't like that. So this losing in 1975 to the man he had defeated 4 years earlier apparently was more than he could take, right? Now, look, South Louisiana politics, famous around the world, right? And I get that. They're cutthroat. They're nasty. At the end of the day, though, you got to take your fucking lick. If you lose, you lose, right? And recently in Livingston Parish, Sheriff Ard won by, I think, less than 200 votes. Well, you know what they call a lawyer that graduates at the bottom of his class? A lawyer. You know what they call a sheriff that wins by less than 200 votes? A sheriff, right? But for whatever reason, they get so fucking raunchy. And I've been a part of a lot of them. Oh, my God. When Joel Odom ran for sheriff in East Louisiana Parish, and he got defeated by the incumbent sheriff, but he told me, I was still with the state police at the time, and he said, "Look, I want you to be my chief criminal deputy." I said, "Hey, thanks for the honor. I'm civil service. I can't campaign for you. I can't do anything. I can't put up a sign, nothing," right? He said, "I get it." He said, "But I'm going to need your help, to turn the place around, et cetera." And I was attached to the Internal Affairs Division at the time. And when he called me, I said, "You know what? I know the dude that's sheriff. I've known him my entire life. Our family, we're friends, et cetera. But I also know that he's going to lose his Jesus when Joel goes around and says, 'Hey, Woody Overton's come be my number 2, blah, blah, blah,' right?" And I was right. They called in 13 fucking complaints to the I went to the head of Internal Affairs. I said, "Hey, this happened. I got offered this position. I'm not doing anything. I'm not campaigning. I'm not doing dick," because I knew it was going to be a nasty fucking shit show, and it was. And they tried to fuck with me. They called in 13 different complaints stating that I was campaigning, that I was going door to door. All of them were fucking lies. Every single one of them were lies. But they knew every complaint they called in had to be investigated, and they were going to put me, I had to get my police officer Bill of Rights read and all this bullshit, and they had to investigate it. I laughed about it. I said, "I told you, motherfuckers, this was coming," and I wasn't doing anything wrong, right? So people fucking, they play dirty, man. And so when Breaux beats these 4 cats, so Breaux was the target of an assassination plot that was planned by former Lafourche Parish President, I told y'all, Cyrus Bobby Tardo, because Breaux beat his ass for sheriff. Now, losing in 75 to the man he had defeated 4 years earlier was more than he could stomach. Now, he had given Breaux a job after Breaux, who finished 3rd in that election in 71, endorsed Tardo over his runoff opponent, only to have Breaux run against him in the very next election. So the Bobby beats Breaux, and then as a condolence prize, like, "Hey, motherfucker, get on board. You didn't get 50% of the vote." and I'm not going to run off against you. I'll give you a job. So Breaux takes it until the next election, and he said, fuck you. I'm running for the high sheriff, right? And so in December of 1988, Breaux and Deputy Daniel Judge Lachey were leaving a senior citizen Christmas party at the Thibodeaux Civic Center, right? That's standard. You're going to go and put in your public appearance. Senior citizens are having a Christmas party. The Thibodeaux Civic Center is the biggest building. Everybody's going to be there, so you campaign it. But there was a grocery bag on the ground next to Breaux's vehicle. Strange, but not totally unheard of. So Breaux walks up to it, and what does the high sheriff do? And I don't know where I got that term from. My daddy used to say it about the sheriff in East Louisiana. He said, the high sheriff, right? The sheriff kicked the bag with his foot, and at the same time, one of the conspirators detonated a homemade pipe bomb that was hidden inside the bag. All right? So they know the sheriff's coming out to his vehicle. Sorry, y'all. They know the sheriff's coming out to his vehicle, and he sees the bag, and he's either going to kick the motherfucker or pick it up. And they put it there on reason, and he kicks the bag, and boom! They blow it the fuck up, right? Just huge explosion. The pipe bomb, y'all, was filled with nails and metal, all right? And as pipe bombs are, self-explanatory, but I've actually made pipe bombs back in the day. But not with nails and shit, but just gunpowder to blow them up on New Year's Eve. So you take a pipe, and you put a cap on one end of it, a metal cap, and then you fill it with the gunpowder and whatever else you want to explode in it. In this case, it was nails and metal and shit like that. And then you put a cap on the other end. You drill a hole in that cap before you put it on there, and you put a fuse in it, or in this case, some kind of remote detonation thing. And look, fucking pipe bomb is like multiple hand grenades at once, so it's a big explosion. As he kicked the bag and the explosion occurred, nails and shrapnel from the bomb nearly tore his Breaux's left leg off and nearly severed his left foot, right? So you kick it, I guess he was left-handed, I don't know. He kicks it, or maybe he kicked it with his right, and the left leg was still standing there, and it blew his shit apart, and he's down, right? And then, oh my God, who the fuck's ever heard of a pipe bomb in Thibodeaux in 1988 or 89, whenever it was? He's down, he's bleeding profusely, shit's all mangled, and of course, they call out the ambulances and everything else in an attempt to save his life. So they haul ass to the Thibodeaux hospital, which, again, I've been there. I got a catfish underneath my knuckle. The fin jammed in, and I had to go all the way there because it broke off in there. And so I spent the night in that hospital, but it doesn't matter. It's a small hospital, y'all. Small regional hospital. So the surgeons come in, and they were able, and I'll never understand how you do this, they were able to take Breaux's foot, his left foot, and reattach it, right? Now, Breaux wasn't a young cat. I mean, I'm 54 now. He was 63 at the time. And even though they attached his foot and patched up his leg and stuff, he at the time this is being told, or back then, I'm sure he's probably dead now, that he still had the pains in his leg and his foot. And he said, I can walk, but I can't run. And then he says, it's better than nothing, I guess. Now, when Breaux was asked as to why this happened, he said, I guess he can't take it that I'm the sheriff. If he comes up with another reason, I'd like to know it. Now, Deputy Daniel Lachey was also injured during the explosion, and this is according to the criminal complaint. Tardo, who I told you about, was paid $10,666, for the attack on Sheriff Duffy Breaux. And but they didn't want to blow his foot off, y'all. They $10,606. Shit, that's like $100,000 in '89. But they wanted him murdered. So you had one job, fuck stick, you can't even get it right. And I guess you do a homemade pipe bomb and you just blow his foot off. They wanted him murdered, and that's a fact. Hey, ladies, are you feeling overwhelmed by hormonal changes? Well, you're definitely not alone. There are more than 1,000 hormone disruptors living in our environment right now. It's in your food, your water, the air you breathe, the clothes you wear, your skincare products. They all mess with your hormones. Then there's the natural hormone changes your body goes through, premenopause, menopause. And while it's a natural process, it doesn't mean you have to suffer through it. The good news is you don't have to suffer through it anymore, because now you have Hormone Harmony, a formula made only with herbal ingredients that are shown to reduce hormonal symptoms in women of all ages. Hormone Harmony is not just a hormone supporting supplement, it's become a phenomenon. Women can't stop talking about it on social media. A bottle of Hormone Harmony is sold every 24 seconds. And the biggest benefit? Well, my wife says it makes her feel like her own self again. And that's what women mention over and over in the reviews. And there are over 30,000 reviews for Hormone Harmony. And for a limited time, you can get 15% off your entire first order at happymammoth.com. Just use code RLRC at checkout. That's happymammoth.com and use code RLRC for 15% off today. That's happymammoth.com and use code RLRC. Spark something uncommon this holiday with just the right gift from Uncommon Goods. The busy holiday season is here, and Uncommon Goods makes it less stressful with incredible hand-picked gifts for everyone on your list, all in one spot. Gifts that spark joy, wonder, delight, and that's exactly what I wanted feeling. Hey, y'all, I ordered a super cool piece. It's a candle with a sculpture of an LSU's Tiger Stadium on top of it. And each officially licensed laser-cut wooden replica features up to 4 layers of detail, creating a bird's eye view of a specific football field, seating section, and more. And every label includes your stadium's name, the team's logo, and school location. And it has a coconut, soy, vegan wax infused with sandalwood smell that creates tailgates and touchdowns scent profile, reminiscent of game day. It's invigorating like fresh cut grass and nostalgic like smoke from a pre-game grill, and calming like the crisp autumn air of a new semester on campus. Y'all, I love it. I have it at the base of my TV, and I'm ready to watch the Tigers play on Saturday night, right? Uncommon Goods. Look, when you shop at Uncommon Goods, you're supporting artists and small independent businesses. And many of their handcrafted products are made in small batches. So shop now before they sell out this holiday season. Uncommon Goods looks for products that are high quality, unique, and often handmade or made in the U.S. They have the most meaningful, out of the ordinary gifts anywhere. They even have gifts you can personalize. From holiday hosts and hostess gift to the coolest finds for kids, to hits for everyone from the book lovers to diehard sports fans. Uncommon Goods has something for everyone, not the same old selections you can just find anywhere. And with every purchase you make at Uncommon Goods, they give $1 to a nonprofit partner of your choice. They've donated more than $3 million to date. So to get 15% off your next gift, go to uncommongoods.com/RLRC. That's uncommongoods.com/RLRC for 15% off. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Uncommon Goods, we're all out of the ordinary. So now, what do you do? Any good investigation? Well, first of all, this one's going to really be fucked, but from a local law enforcement standpoint, because now you got to call in the feds. it's a bomb, right? So you got to call in ATF and probably the FBI because it's an elected official and all this shit. So you work the case. You go out, you beat the bushes. In a community like that, somebody's going to fucking rat. And that small, loose lips sink ships. You know who the shitbird bag players are. And you're going to be looking at them. Who's the fuckstick that would do this, right? And so you develop those, and you try to develop informants to get information to get something to go against these dickwads for. So they did that, and an informant who admitted his own involvement in the attempt on Breaux's life told the federal agents that Tardo had supplied the money to have Breaux murdered. Now, y'all, this is according to a federal affidavit that outlined allegations against the men. Now, the same informant, now I'm pretty sure he cut a sweetheart deal, right? The same informant said that Tardo also gave the guy, McClendon, an additional $2,000, or one of the guys, McClendon, an additional $2,000 for his participation in the bombing. Now, where is a fucking parish president getting $13,000 to blow his old sheriff's deputy's leg off? I mean, because he beat him out of the fucking job, right? But check it out. Now, this is all these years after the lost election. And they said that Tardo plotted this plan for 12 years in an effort to regain the sheriff's post. And how did he do it? Well, he says, I can't fucking beat him in the polls. We'll kill his fucking ass, right? And then they'll hold a special election and all will be well. I'll get to be the high sheriff again. Anyway, so he spent 12 years doing this. 12 years just to regain the title of sheriff. And ultimately, he had been charged with paying 3 men to kill the man who twice beat him in political races. Now, that's some Louisiana politics right there, right? You beat me, I'm just going to fucking kill you. So Marshall McClendon, who's 42, is a former New Orleans, Baton Rouge, and Gonzales police officer who had once worked for Tardo during his one term as sheriff, as well as having served as an Ascension Parish Sheriff's deputy, had detonated a bomb by remote control in an attempt to kill Sheriff Breaux. Now let's talk about that. This cat has been NOPD, Baton Rouge, and Gonzales police officer, and at one time Ascension Parish Sheriff's deputy. You know why? Because he's fucking an idiot. Anytime you see a cop that goes from one major organization to another, from New Orleans PD to another major organization, Baton Rouge PD, to a much, much smaller organization, although there were a bunch of great guys. I believe Randy Dufresne Jr. still works for him as a sergeant or something, Gonzales PD, but that's a smaller department. All right, and the Ascension Parish Sheriff's Office, that would have been one of the top of these. But why do you get moved around so much? Because you're a fuckstick. You're getting in trouble, and they're like, if you resign your position, we'll get. And look, I've seen this. I'm not saying it's right, but it fucking happens every day. You get in for some trouble for some shit that, whatever it may be, and you don't. The powers that be don't want to have it come out of the news. They're like, just resign, and we'll give you a letter of recommendation so you can get a job with another department. Basically, you're passing the shit buck down the road. So a third man, who's a former Houma police officer, and now Homa's right down there by Thibodeaux, y'all. You've heard me talk about it 1,000 times. His name was Ralph Bergeon. He was 42. He was also charged with conspiracy to violate and violation of the Organized Crime Control Act and illegal possession of a destructive device. Okay? Both cops, former cops. Wonder how they passed the psych test, y'all. But Bergeron and Touye conducted surveillance of Breaux, that Sheriff Breaux, several times before the bombing was actually carried out. Now, I told you in the last episode of Real Life, Real Crime Daily, be aware. I wish Sheriff Breaux hadn't kicked that bag, but I told you people were watching you, right? And they want an easy victim. Now, Touye was sentenced to 19 years and 8 months, and McClendon was given a 24-year sentence in prison. Okay? And Bergeron was sentenced to 11 years imprisonment. And I'm pretty sure it's going to be federal prison, y'all. So there was an affidavit released at the press conference by the U.S. Attorney John Bolts. He said the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, or ATF, agents monitored a conversation between Tardo and the informant. It was during this meeting that Tardo affirmed his knowledge of the bombing and admitted to paying McClendon the extra $2,000, and he gave the confidential source $100 to help him get out of town, and he admitted that he, Tardo, had entered into an agreement with McClendon that called for McClendon to maintain his silence if he was arrested. There's your extra $2,000 for McClendon. How in the fuck? This dude is such a fucking idiot. You're going to do it, right? And all these years after the election, you're going to hire 3 motherfuckers? Loose lips sink ships. The dead men can't testify. If only one person knows about the crime, they're the only one that can tell them themselves. Ask Miss Barbara Blunt's case. Which y'all please continue calling you tips on that. But this motherfucker's running his mouth, and the feds send in an informant, and he gives them $100 to get out of town. He's a fucking idiot. So Tardo was sheriff of coastal Lafourche Parish from 1971 to 75 when Breaux defeated him in a heated campaign. Now, Tardo ran against Breaux again in 1980, and he got his ass whipped, like, by a lot, right? So now Tardo has salt in his wounds. He had that taste, though. He had that taste from 71 to 75 of being the high sheriff of Thibodeaux, or Lafourche. But Tardo was elected Lafourche president in 1983. Okay, dude wants to be in public office. And y'all, we have parish presidents. I guess it would be like, what do they call it in other places? Parish councilman or what? Not councilman. Whatever it is you have in your state, the parish president is the highest ranking swinging Tom, Dick, and Harry in politics. And they help all the contracts and the roadways and all that stuff. I know y'all don't have parishes. I guess it's county president, some shit like that, right? But he can't stand it. He has to be in the public. Oh, I get this. Some motherfuckers just need to be in the public eye, right? And they get off on it. And Tardo was one of them. So he wins the election to be parish president in 1983, 4-year term. 1987 comes along. There's a re-election, and he got his ass whipped. This motherfucker can't keep an office, right? I suspect, if you blow him, you have that in your mindset that you can blow up your old opponents. You might be a douchebag anyway, and might not be doing your office. But Tardo, believe it or not, check this out, was a retired state trooper who was working as a private investigator and an insurance agent at the time of the bombing was carried out. Shit, that's another one. He hires cops. I guess he knew them from wherever. He retired state trooper, gets elected sheriff, and then parish president or whatever. And you pretty much got nothing else to go on. I was a private investigator. an insurance agent selling. I never sold insurance, but I mean, that's it. Anyway, he was sentenced to 29 years and 5 months in prison. Motherfucker, it's a murder for hire plot. Don't you think it should be a little bit longer than that? I mean, really? And you're an ex-cop, an ex-trooper, and you absolutely meant to kill the high sheriff? That fucking should be he didn't kill him, obviously, but it should be the execution as far as I'm concerned. But guess what, y'all? They ship him off to prison, the last place any cop wants to go, right? For the 29 years, 5 months. But guess what? How long do you think he did? Come on now. You blow a man's leg off, the high sheriff of that, the highest law enforcement official in the parish, you blow his shit apart, and you get 29 years and some change. But guess what? He served less than 3 years of his prison sentence. 3 years. Now, this would normally be the part where I tell you he got paroled or he got released on a technicality or whatever the fuck, right? They came up with some evidence that exonerated him. Not in this case, y'all. He got released. Again, we'll say the fires of hell probably burned a little hotter on this day because he died of heart failure on April the 30th, 1992 in the Medical Center for Federal Prisoners in Springfield, Missouri, where he had been transferred after becoming ill, right? He was 61 years old at the time of his death, and he got released from federal custody when he keeled over and died. Hell or jail, doesn't matter to me. Isn't that crazy, y'all? Just crazy story. But a little bit more. Tardo and Bergeron were named in the criminal complaint based on the confidential source who admitted to taking part in the scheme. And like I told you, Tardo died in prison in the 1990s. Now, Duffy Breaux, the high sheriff who had his leg blown off, died in 2005, same year as Katrina, at the Terrebonne General Medical Center, same place I had the catfish taken out of my hand, from complications of pneumonia after battling illness. And he left a legacy, this story, that could be made for a movie. But rest in peace, Sheriff Duffy Breaux. Sorry that happened to you. But you know what? Let me tell you a little bit about him and his career. He was the politician, Breaux, the high sheriff, wore a number of hats throughout his years in office. He was a victim of an assassination attempt, convicted criminal, and gregarious person who won over enough Lafourche residents to be elected sheriff 4 consecutive terms.
Hey, y'all. Changing my wardrobe from summer to fall, it's never easy. Luckily, Quince offers timeless and high-quality items I adore, ensuring my wardrobe stays fresh and I don't blow my budget. And there's nothing easier than going to Quince and choosing these high-quality items, like cashmere sweaters from $50, pants for every occasion, washable silk tops, and so much more. The best part? All Quince items are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. By partnering directly with top factories, Quince cuts out the cost of the middleman and passes the savings on to us. And Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices and premium fabrics and finishes, and I love that. I got the stainless steel Link Apple Watch band for $59.90. It's heavy duty. It's awesome. And it's like $100 less than I could find anywhere else. And I also got a 100% organic cotton fisherman quarter zip up sweater. The color is alabaster. Man, I can't wait to wear that this fall. And Cindy got the Mongolian cashmere boat neck sweater in heather gray. And I'm telling you, these are classic pieces at a fraction of the price. Make switching seasons a breeze with Quince's high-quality closet essentials. Go to quince.com/RLRC for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/RLRC to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/RLRC. You'll thank me later. Hey, y'all, let me tell you about Gobble. All Gobble meal kits are pre-prepped. That means less work for you and less waste in your kitchen. Their meal kits include everything you need so you can save time at the store or just skip that trip entirely. I got the box in and I had 3 different meals. I had a Kung Pao chicken, crispy fish tacos, and a beef bourguignon, however you say it. But let me tell you about the classic beef bourguignon. Look, it came with beef pot roast and a beef broth concentrate, red wine demi-glaze, cremini mushrooms, cipollone onions, mashed potatoes, baby carrots, and rosemary thyme butter. It was so easy to make. Literally like 15 minutes it took Cindy. And let me tell you something, and all the dishes were fire, but this thing was like a taste explosion in my mouth. It's just unreal. We've got to spend more time together and more time doing the things we love because everything came in this one single box right to my door. So see what a difference Gobble will make for your household. Right now, they're offering my listeners a fantastic limited time deal. You get $120 off across 4 boxes plus free shipping and free cookies. And let me tell you, those cookies, I ate one that was sin baked and it was delicious. Go to gobble.com/real life. That's GOBBLE.com/real life for $120 off your first 4 boxes. This offer is not available on the home site, so don't miss out. This is genius. It's taste explosions in your mouth like you never had.
What does that mean? He was a likable cat. And even though he had he was a convicted criminal in his past, if this is correct, allegedly convicted criminal, I'm sure it's true. But he's such a people person that people put their trust in him and they elected him 4 times in a row. That's 16 years this homie served the people of Lafourche Parish. Hats off to you, brother. In 1993, after an investigation spearheaded by the FBI, Sheriff Breaux pleaded guilty to multiple charges stemming from 2 separate incidents. Breaux and his chief deputy, Eddie Duet, went to jail in June of 1993 after the pair were convicted of defrauding the public out of more than $100,000 through the dealings of their company, Shield Land. The sheriff's office contracted with local banks, which would pay for the storage of mobile homes. But since Breaux and Duet owned the land where the trailers were being kept, they profited directly from the transactions. That's kind of bullshit. I mean, I understand you're not supposed to do that and whatever, but that's just Louisiana. Sheriff Breaux pleaded guilty to conspiracy to commit mail fraud and obstruction of justice in February 1993 for the stunt, which he tried to conceal later by writing a personal check for a portion of the bill while deputies ordered raincoats from the store. Okay, interesting. Breaux served 4 years at a federal prison in Montgomery, Alabama for collective convictions and was released in 1997, free to focus on his family. Now, despite the former sheriff's checkered past, many who knew him best said that beyond the widely publicized portions of his career, stuff movies were made of, it is the man himself that should be remembered. I agree with that. Because, 16 years, little kickback stuff, that shit's been going on my whole career. Not saying it's right, but I guarantee he did more for the citizens than he did on hurting them by getting a rent check on the shit he wasn't supposed to. But Duffy's personality sticks out more than anything. He was without a doubt one of the most outgoing people you could ever meet, said former District Attorney Walter Butch Naquin Jr., who worked with Breaux for 31 years. He was comfortable with everyone, and people were comfortable with him. His personality was his biggest political asset. He was the type of sheriff that carried that over into his job. And after spending 18 years cutting his teeth with the LaFourche Sheriff Office as a dispatcher, then patrol deputy, and major, Breaux ran for sheriff in early 1971, but he didn't win until 1975. He stayed in office until 1992, and what happened during those years won't soon be forgotten. Wow, that's a good one. Thanks, Leah. And I had heard of it, and I even heard of it when I was in basic training academy, and they were telling about like cops that were really, really good cops, but became disgraced. You know, you get complacent, and they were saying basically that you can't get away with that kind of shit anymore. And y'all, I could tell you stories about swim getting an order to go do this, and it was questionable at best, gray area and legality stuff. But you know what? You fucking did it. The boss man says do this, and I got this, and you didn't question it. I'm not talking about killing people and shit. I'm talking about stuff like, no, I'm not going to say anything about it. Just different things but would have been misdemeanor stuff, but had it been challenged and adjudicated. But Sheriff Breaux, rest in peace. Tardo, you're a fuckstick. I mean, Breaux wasn't killing people or trying to kill people and then dumb enough to talk about it. And I'm going to conclude this episode, and I love and appreciate each and every one of y'all. Come see me at O'Hara's Irish Pub. Welcome home. Let's drink a cold one. And then LOPA, Louisiana Organ Procurement Agency. That's O'Hara's Irish Pub, downtown Baton Rouge, Louisiana, on 3rd Street, 136 3rd Street. LOPA, Louisiana Organ Procurement Agency. You know it's my jam. They're my people. And we're going to start doing live shows again, and we'll have the raffles and all that to raise them some more money. This year's been all kinds of fucked up, twisted sideways in so many different ways, but I think things are finally turning around. And so we're going to do the live shows again, and where we're going to raise the money for LOPA. All right. And y'all, it's a nonprofit organization. They save lives every single day. And I've been blessed to meet so many of these people, both on the hero side and the recipient side. And it just absolutely make you cry. And the LOPA people are the best. I've been to the headquarters numerous times. I just can't say enough about them. But if you're not an organ donor, please sign up. And if you're a lifer from Springfield, Illinois, you don't have to be from Louisiana to sign up. Go to lopa.org, fill out the questionnaire, take 2 minutes, and become an organ donor. Be a hero. Give the gift of life and sight and all the other studying and shit that they do. Try to help other people. People are dying every day waiting on organs. And I'm Woody Overton, your host of Real Life, Real Crime, the podcast. And until next time or ever, don't let me catch you down on Murder Bayou. Peace. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have a right to an attorney prior to and during any question. If you can't afford one, the court will appoint one for you. Do you understand your rights?